So I have played quite a bit of Lifeline over the years, and I would consider her my Apex main, although I like playing a lot of the support class now, such as Conduit, Newcastle, etc. Currently, Lifeline is one of the most played legends in the game, due to the recent addition of some of her perks that made her incredibly strong, such as the Evo cash in the care package, which is gone now. With this, however, came a lot of players that have no idea what they are doing on Lifeline. They don't know anything that they're meant to be doing, anything that they should be doing, and they don't know any little like secret text that a lot of the Lifeline players know. So today I thought I'd compile a list of 5 of my favourite tips which I think are really useful on Lifeline.
Lifeline! Lifeline!
This first tip may seem quite insignificant, but in a game that's all about movement, it's so important that you're not accidentally standing still. If you slide when rezzing, it will remove the slowdown that usually comes when you press the res button. And a lot of people don't actually know about this. People die a lot for rezzing as Lifeline, which is a problem because the idea of Lifeline's res is that you get up a teammate quicker, not trade. If you are sliding when rezzing, it makes it a hell of a lot easier for you to get out of these situations and potentially even get behind cover off of it with some decent movement. You never want to slow down in Apex Legends, but that's a given. The game is all about movement.
Lifeline! Lifeline!
This second tip is something I'm surprised people don't really use because it is very, very useful. You can use your Lifeline care package as cover in a very desperate situation. Let's say a door gets broken and you don't have a catalyst to rebuild it. It's good if you then put your Lifeline care package on an angle where the enemy team can't shoot at you through the door, and it's basically free cover you can cool down in 6 seconds. It also comes with loot, and you can usually get a couple free shield batteries out of it, which are very useful in the final ring, especially if you've been in quite a few fights and you're running low on them, or you need to get something for your team. And it also gives some decent upgrades sometimes, like a backpack or a knockdown or something like that that could maybe just be a good help in a final ring where you want to be having ammo.
Lifeline! Lifeline!
Tip number 3 is a bit more of a subjective one. If you already have a gold knockdown, don't buy the gold pack in my opinion. Now that they removed the Evo cash from it, it's only really good for the gold knockdown. Having a gold backpack is nice, but there's also legendary loot bins in the game now that got added this season that make it so getting gold backpacks is a lot more common. If you already have one, you can easily take advantage of the self-revive if you use it correctly. I know everyone's not able to get the self-revive off, it's very situational, but there will be that time, that 1 in 10 chance where getting a self-revive off saves your game. So it's very important that you don't waste the chance to get a free self-revive off in a final ring where maybe your team is struggling in a fight and don't have time to res you. However, there is an exception to this rule. If you have a Newcastle, Gibby or Mirage on your team as well, you could potentially give them the gold knockdown that comes in the gold pack if they don't already have one, which is very useful, especially for Newcastle as he thrives off having a knockdown so he can have more health for his res. This might not be as viable in comp as it's unlikely that you'll have a Lifeline with any of those 3, but in the chance that you do, or if you're just playing pubs, it's very useful for the team.
Lifeline! Lifeline!
This next tip is definitely quite a controversial one, but honestly it's something I will stand by. Body blocking the res is very useful in some situations. I know a lot of players will say that it's not really right because you're wasting your health bar for the sake of someone else's, but now that she's got the gold knockdown perk, your teammate is going to be revived to a decent amount of HP, so it's so important to get your teammates up, especially. If you want to just use yourself as cover for the last couple seconds, then I think that's absolutely acceptable. However, you do have to be careful with snipers and any guns that can easily like rip through your team. So I'd say this is like the Devotion or Sheila, because you're not going to be able to body block a Sheila or Devotion because of how strong they are in this current meta. In lower ranks, people are going to be missing shots more, and they'll be even more startled if you're also shooting at them, and they might not be able to first res.
Lifeline! Lifeline!
The final tip seems obvious, but I see a lot of Lifeline players playing in a certain way that doesn't work for the team. You want to make sure that you're never the first to go down, but you also need to be there for your teammates. So I'm just going to explain this. You never want to be the first down because you need the revive. The revive is Lifeline's kit, it's her whole importance. She's the queen of resetting a fight. She is so important for that. So it is better to play defensively as her, potentially at a slightly longer range. You do not want to be the entry fragger on Lifeline. You do not want to be the one that goes down first just to trade for a kill, because it's not a worthy trade. You've got a free revive in your pocket. Potentially hanging back for reses is very useful. However, You also have to remember that Lifeline does not have any movement abilities. It's going to be harder to get back to your team if you play at a longer range, so you need to keep that in mind. If you are playing at this longer range, it is very important that you are playing longer range guns and you're not just rocking like a shotgun and SMG, because otherwise you're going to get little value. But if you want to run like an LMG and a sniper potentially, that would be very useful at that kind of range.
Lifeline! Lifeline!
So those are my 5 tips for Lifeline. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for 200 subscribers. My channel has never seen like this much traction in a while, so genuinely thank you so much for that. And the next video is also going to be an Apex video. I won't reveal much, but I'm really excited for it.